I think it's cool that I can do jump rope with my sister. And we just work together all the time, practicing, working on new tricks at home, just showing each other new things we learn.
They usually practice 4 to 5 days a week for 2 to 4 hours.
Stuart came on with a passion and just worked harder than any kid I've ever seen. Brianna is more of a performer than a competitor. She might win 4th or 5th, but you know, when you're talking about the nation, that's still outstanding.
My favorite event would have to be double dutch because you're all working together and you're doing different tricks. My favorite event is speed. All you have to do is practice jogging in place, and it takes a lot of endurance. Freestyle is when you're individually by yourself and you're jumping, doing different tricks. Most of the tricks you do in freestyle you learn from camps or other teammates, but I've made up a few tricks of my own.
Stuart's been extremely successful from the time he was
in game, and the guy is special for sure. So, Christine, lots to look out for, but you know that MEAC Sweat Challenge is coming up August 27th.
I was just going to say that, August 27th. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me. I'll see you on the road. I'm pretty sure we'll see each other very soon.
That's what's up.
All right, it's fitting that we come off of an HBCU conversation to top the top 5 bands because we've got a couple on this list. But we start things off in the Big Ten at number 5 with Michigan. It doesn't feel like a college football season has started until we hear them playing their fight song in the Big House. Now at number 4, we go to a soon-to-be Big Ten school, USC, maybe one of the best-dressed bands we'll see all season. And they've played with Fleetwood Mac, which, by the way, if you don't know who that is, that's a British rock band. I looked that up earlier today. There's a tie at number 2. Jackson State is up first. The Sonic Boom of the South. This band dates back to the 1940s. They played at huge events, including the presidential inauguration last year. Also tied at number 2, it's Florida A&M, and it's the Marching 100. No one sits down during any of their halftime performances because the Marching 100 is lit. They played at Louis Vuitton in a fashion show earlier this summer in Paris. And at number 1, it's the best damn band in the land, Ohio State. They first performed their famous Script Ohio back in 1936. Each time they play, a 4th or 5th year sousaphone player is chosen to dot the I. And Ohio actually talked to one of those guys last season. He was very excited. His whole entire family was there. It was a huge deal for him. I'm going to go to you, Greg. What do you think about this list?
I could never put together a top band list because I have yet to find a band I don't
Shayna's
love.
hometown.
The night before we were supposed to sign the lease on a restaurant space in St. Helena, where we were living at the time, we were walking around and we were like, I don't think this is the right move. I was pregnant with Max, our first son. We were very, very close to my family, and Joe's family lives in Indiana, and felt like it would be
good spot to like go to.
To find just the right space for a restaurant, the couple found inspiration far from Wisconsin.
We spent a little bit of time in Europe after Joe finished at the French Laundry, after having been in France and seeing all of these incredible, you know,
old
historic buildings.
Yeah, just like very romantic, but you know, you're like, okay, we're gonna go back to the U.S. and go back there. Nothing's really that old, you know. So
until they discovered Madison's historic train depot, built in 1903, all but abandoned since it went out of service more than 50 years ago.
We came in here and it was like
we want to do this.
This is where it's gonna be.
Joe and Shayna spent 3 years excavating and renovating the old train stop into a 5,000 square foot dining destination.
This was the train platform where people caught the trains, and we put the terrazzo floor in.
And I guess, what would a train station be without the train?
Exactly, the train car.
This is where we're headed.
So we do private dining on here.
Okay.
It's a great place for holiday parties or birthday parties, something a little more intimate. This track that's laid down here is not operational.
Okay.
But there is an operational truck on the other side, so trains do come by. So when you're sitting in here a couple times a night, you do get a train, which is fun.
Oh, that's crazy. They named the restaurant mostly as an homage to Fred Harvey, who opened a chain of eateries along train routes in the late 1800s.
Come cyclone, come earthquake, the people gonna eat!
And inspired the 1946 film The Harvey Girls, starring Judy Garland.
And they were called the Harvey Houses. But my paternal grandfather is also named Harvey, and so we felt like it was a very nice connection.
The Harvey House is where the Papaches have settled down, sort of, running the restaurant and raising their family. Joe's 14-year-old and their 3 kids together. Son Charlie already showing promise in the family business.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chef Charlie. First, we need hamburger, gummy, and salt. And say love, Charlie.
Did he just do it on his own, or
It was during the pandemic, and we were bored.
He was bored.
I was also bored.
And Shayna was bored. People still come up to him today and was like, Chef Charlie, how was your tuna melt?
Balancing it all is hard work, but with help from their...
So you get unlimited data for just $30 a month, taxes and fees included. Plus, we have a new plan with 5G ultra wideband. Switch today at visible.com.
With Canva, we brainstorm together on whiteboards.
We all bring brain power.
Ooh.
To bounce off each other.
For the best ideas. What will you design today? Start designing for free at canva.com.
At Lovesac, we design furniture for life. Real life. Messy life. Life that changes and brings us together for movie night. A life where batteries run down and get charged up again. Because now, Lovesac Sactionals can be upgraded with Stealth Tech. And immersive surround sound by Harman Kardon hidden inside. Upgradable, washable, and guaranteed for life. Don't just hear it, feel it. At a Lovesac showroom near you.
SportsCenter AM on a Saturday morning. Today on ABC and the ESPN app, we are down to the final 4 teams at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, PA. The international championship game is between the kids from Chinese Taipei and Curacao. That's at 12:30 Eastern. Then at 3:30, boys from Nolensville, Tennessee, try to take down this Honolulu, Hawaii team that is an absolute wagon. That's in the U.S. title game. Winners play in the championship game Sunday, 3 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. You're like, what makes Hawaii a wagon? Well, they beat Tennessee 13-0 already on Wednesday. This Hawaii team is something special. They've outscored their opponents by 41 runs so far. Good for the second largest run diff by any U.S. team through the first 4 games of the tournament all time. Hawaii's dominated at the plate and in the field. 11 home runs while allowing just 4 hits. 4 hits. That means they have 7 more home runs than hits allowed. Koen Sakamoto has been dominant on the mound and at the plate. Wednesday against Tennessee, 2 ding-dongs, including a grand slam, 5 runs driven in. He's the 6th U.S. player with multiple tater tots and 5 ribbies in a game over the past decade.
And now to the Saturday storylines in the NFL as we wind up preseason action. The Rams and the Bengals facing off in a rematch of last season's Super Bowl, and doing so just 2 days after this ugly brawl forced the teams to end their final joint practice. Meanwhile, the Ravens look to extend their 22-game preseason win streak when they host the Commanders. We will not be seeing Lamar Jackson in action, and there is still no resolution regarding a new contract for the Ravens quarterback. Meanwhile, Justin Fields takes the field again against the Browns, looking much improved entering his 2nd season, and Jacoby Brissett gets his first snaps of the preseason. He prepares to start the first 11 games for Cleveland. And Tom Brady will suit up against the Colts along with all the other healthy starters. That's according to Bucs head coach Todd Bowles. 2nd straight year that Brady's going to be appearing in the preseason finale after not doing so since 2016.
Matt Araiza says the facts of the incident are not what they are portrayed in the lawsuit or in the press, and that he looks forward to quickly setting the record straight. The lawsuit to which the Bills punter is referring is the one Thursday, where he's accused of gang raping a 17-year-old girl when he was at San Diego State last year.